Long before humanity built cities, before the first road was carved, and before the first stone was shaped, Earth belonged to another world entirely. A realm where nature experimented with scale, speed, and horror on a level that defies human imagination. For over 160 million years, dinosaurs were not just living creatures. They were the absolute, undisputed rulers of the planet. To understand their world, we must strip away modern civilization and travel back to a time when continents were smashed together, when oceans roared with leviathans, and when a single footprint in the mud could measure the size of a full-grown man. Our journey begins in the Triassic period, a harsh, dry, and unforgiving era born from the ashes of the greatest mass extinction Earth had ever seen. The world was a single giant landmass called Pangaea. Monsoons battered the coastlines, while vast, deadly deserts covered the inland. In this brutal climate, early dinosaurs were not the giant titans we know today. They were small, agile, and constant targets for armored archosaurs, but hidden within their lean frames was an evolutionary blueprint destined for greatness. As millions of years ticked away, the climate shifted. Pangaea began to crack and drift apart. Humidity rose, dense fern forests expanded across the globe, and vegetation grew out of control. This environmental explosion paved the way for the Jurassic era, the golden age of giants. Here, plant-eating sauropods evolved into living skyscrapers, their massive tails sweeping through misty tree lines. But with giant prey came even more terrifying hunters. Predators developed razor-sharp teeth, crushing bite forces, and tactical intelligence that turned every forest edge into a potential killing zone. Join us as we explore the complete, terrifying, and awe-inspiring story of the prehistoric era. From the rise of the first carnivores to the apocalyptic impact that changed the planet forever, to truly grasp the sheer scale of the Triassic world, one must picture a land of brutal extremes. Massive sandstorms swept across endless crimson deserts where only the toughest organisms survived. The air itself was thick, hot, and thin in oxygen. In this barren wasteland, early creatures like Cuebic drifted through the shadows, small, fast, and bone-thin, relying entirely on speed to avoid being crushed by heavy archosaurs. But evolution is a patient master. Over tens of millions of years, subterranean heat forced Earth's mantle to shift. Pangaea began to fracture. Great rift valleys tore open, filling with water to create early sea passages. Rain fell on the arid plains for the first time in millennia. Plants mutated and exploded in size, giving birth to giant coniferous trees and dense fern beds. As green blanketed the planet, a new era dawned, the Jurassic period. The abundance of plant life allowed herbivorous dinosaurs to balloon in size. Creatures like Diplodocus and Brachiosaurus became walking ecosystems, growing up to 100 feet long. Their sheer weight was so colossal that their footsteps caused tremors through the earth, echoing for miles through misty primeval forests. Yet, nature always maintains its balance. As the plant-eaters grew into giants, predators evolved in parallel. Evolution crafted lethal killing tools, binocular vision for measuring distance, hollow bones for rapid movement, and powerful serrated teeth capable of tearing through inches of thick hide. Enter the Allosaurus, the terror of the Jurassic floodplains. With an upper jaw used like a hatchet to slash into prey, it hunted in ruthless harmony with its environment. Nothing was safe. Every riverbank, every shadow in the dense forest concealed a potential executioner. As the Jurassic period reached its absolute peak, Earth became a battleground of unimaginable scale. The climate was warm, tropical, and drenched in moisture. Forests of giant cycads and ginkgo trees stretched across entire continents, nourishing giant herbivores that weighed up to 80 tons. But this vast abundance of food created an evolutionary arms race between predator and prey. To survive against formidable hunters like Allosaurus, plant eaters developed extraordinary defenses. Stegosaurus, a walking armored fortress, bore massive heavy plates along its spine and a devastating tail weapon armed with 4 razor-sharp bony spikes, known as the thagomizer. A single violent swing from a threatened Stegosaurus could crush a predator's leg or shatter its ribcage in an instant. Yet predators adapted just as brutally. Ceratosaurus, with its distinctive nose horn and elongated dagger-like upper teeth, haunted the swampy riverbanks. It targeted weak, young, or isolated sauropods, using stealth and ambush tactics in the thick, prehistoric gloom. Waterways were no safer than the dense jungles. Massive rivers swarmed with primitive crocodilians, while shallow seas were dominated by marine reptiles like Liopleurodon. Monsters with jaws strong enough to snap a land predator in half if it dared to cross a deep river passage. The balance of power was constantly shifting, but the Jurassic era was merely the opening act. Deep beneath the Earth's crust, tectonic forces were preparing a violent transformation. The climate was about to shift again, giving rise to the deadliest, most extreme predators the world would ever witness, the Cretaceous era. As the Jurassic era faded, Earth entered its most violent phase yet, the Cretaceous period. Continents continued to drift apart, shaping new oceans and humid coastal swamps. In this rapidly changing environment, nature pushed predatory evolution to its absolute limits. In the scorching floodplains of North Africa, a true nightmare reigned supreme. Carcharodontosaurus, the shark-toothed lizard. Stretching over 40 feet long, this massive carnivore possessed serrated, blade-like teeth designed not just to crush, but to inflict catastrophic bleeding on giant long-necked sauropods. Yet, land was not the only killing zone. Along the massive prehistoric river systems, an amphibious titan claimed total dominance, Spinosaurus. With a colossal sail rising from its back and a narrow skull packed with conical teeth, it hunted both massive prehistoric sawfish and unsuspecting land dinosaurs that dared to approach the water's edge. The ecosystem was pushed to its breaking point. Every continent evolved its own deadly giants, setting the stage for the most intense survival war in Earth's history. As the late Cretaceous epoch reached its final era, Earth fractured into isolated landmasses, giving rise to the most terrifying apex predators in history. At the absolute pinnacle of this evolutionary arms race stood Tyrannosaurus Rex. Measuring over 40 feet in length and weighing up to 9 tons, this carnivore was built for sheer destruction. Unlike earlier predators with thin, blade-like teeth, T-Rex possessed massive, bone-crushing pegs backed by thousands of pounds of hydraulic bite force. It did not just slash its prey, it shattered armor and crushed bones with a single clamp of its jaws. Across the North American floodplains, survival was a brutal warfare. Ankylosaurus evolved into a living tank covered in thick bony plates and armed with a bone-shattering tail club. Beside it, Triceratops bore 3 lethal facial horns capable of impaling any hunter. Yet, T-Rex navigated this deadly landscape with unmatched vision and smell, tracking prey across vast distances through misty pine forests. For millions of years, this bloody balance of predator and prey seemed invincible. But far above the clouds, a silent cosmic assassin was approaching at unimaginable speed. 66 million years ago, a Tuesday morning began like any other in the Cretaceous world. Pterosaurs glided across sunlit coastal skies. Herds of Triceratops grazed in dense fern valleys, and apex predators patrolled their well-worn territory. None of them could perceive that their 160 million year reign was about to end in a matter of seconds. High above the atmosphere, an asteroid 6 miles wide tore through the sky at 40,000 miles per hour. It entered Earth's atmosphere with such kinetic violence that it compressed the air beneath it into temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun, vaporizing everything directly in its path before impact. When the asteroid struck what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, the collision produced an explosion equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. The Earth's crust rippled like water. A blinding flash burned millions of creatures instantly, while a shock wave of boiling air swept across entire continents, flattening ancient primeval forests for thousands of miles. Seconds later, massive mega tsunamis hundreds of feet high battered the coastlines, while molten rock ignited global wildfires. Vaporized sulfur and soot rose high into the stratosphere, blocking out the sun completely for months. Earth plunged into a freezing, sunless impact winter. Without sunlight, photosynthesis collapsed. Plants died, giant herbivores starved, and within weeks, top predators like Tyrannosaurus Rex wandered through a frozen, silent wasteland with no prey left to hunt. The era of giant beasts was over, yet in the quiet darkness of a ruined world, small, burrowing mammals survived underground, paving the way for a distant, unimaginable future, the age of humanity.